Hello and welcome to the second in this series of Dragon Dialogues. We're here in the beautiful Miskin Manor just outside of Cardiff, and I'm joined here this evening with the fabulous Kyle Gray. Hey! And it's wonderful to be sharing this experience with you tonight, Kyle, because it's back in 2012 when we first met.
Really?
And you came to do your first event for Naked Dragon. In Chertsey.
Yeah.
And we were both kind of the new kids on the block at the time, because Naked Dragon had been going for about a year, I think, at that point. And you had just released your first book with Hay House, so just starting to do the circuit. And I came to meet you at Heathrow Airport, and it was the same time as the Olympics.
So you did?
On. Do you remember?
And you picked me up in your two-seater.
I did.
And we had to squeeze the suitcase.
We had to squeeze it. I've got the tiniest little car in the world, and we had to squeeze Carl's suitcase into this little car. And there was all hullabaloo going on at the airport because people were all arriving. Do you remember all the teams were arriving for the Olympics?
Oh, that's right.
And we had a photograph taken at this special booth where we had to sign this book, this commemorative book. Do you remember that?
Oh my God, that feels like ages ago.
Yeah, I know. It does seem like another lifetime ago. So it's 3 years. So it's taken 3 years to persuade Carl to come back to the Dragon.
Oh my.
Now we're back in style, and it's actually Carl's first ever visit to Wales.
To Wales.
So, first impressions.
Cymru. Is that right? I was looking up online. I was like, how do you say Wales?
And Prynhawn Da, good afternoon.
Oh really? Yeah, I was looking around and trying to figure out Welsh, but it's not happening. Amazing place though.
Yeah.
And this place is like Dumbledore's office, isn't it?
No, Carl is a great Harry Potter fan, for those of you who aren't aware of that. You're a big fan, aren't you?
Oh my God.
And this place is like a Harry Potter's playground in many ways. It's beautiful. If you haven't been, come, because this is our fabulous new venue, and this is Naked Dragon's new home. We're still doing events in London, but it's lovely to be back in, because Wales is my homeland, so it's really lovely to be back here.
Sweet.
And it's so lovely that you've come to join us too. Yay!
The last of my tour.
Yes, because you've been very busy, haven't you?
Yeah.
Gosh, where have you been on this tour? Everywhere.
Everywhere. India, Colorado, Florida, all of the UK pretty much.
Wow.
48 flights this year.
48.
I know, it's really
and one that almost didn't happen yesterday, didn't you? You had to turn back yesterday.
Yeah,
that was a bit
everything
scary.
that's ever went wrong with flights has went wrong, and it couldn't get any worse, touch wood. No, you get used to it, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of
A
course you do.
seasoned flyer.
Absolutely. Now, you know how to feel that time when you're just hanging around airports and
Sleep.
twiddling your thumbs and on Facebook and doing what you need to do.
Yeah.
But life has been quite a journey for you actually in the last 3 years. When I think how things were when we first met and how you are now, there's been so much that's gone on for you in between.
Yeah.
It's been a very, very exciting ride for this young man.
Yeah.
And what would you say would be your highlights of the last 3 years?
You know, it's been a bit of a whirlwind in the sense that there was no way to prepare for what was going to happen. I don't know if you remember, like after we did the Naked Dragon, I think I ended up on national television, and then the first book went to like number 7 in the overall Amazon chart, and then like for 3 years after that, it's just been back-to-back travel. So it's been really good though, because I've had this great opportunity to kind of share, and what I thought I knew about like angels being my subject has changed dramatically over the last 3 years. Like the way I first thought things were has completely grown. And what's really excited me, and that has been a highlight, is the fact that you think you know something and then you can keep learning and you can keep going deeper. So I think it makes it exciting, because whenever I get excited about new discoveries, you know, being able to share them. So that's been a huge highlight. And then also just, you know, realising that I've had 38 international book deals. It's a big deal.
Wow, that's
phenomenal. You know, that, and then obviously going on to write 5 books in total now.
So is it 5 now in total?
Yeah, so 6 is in the works now.
What's the next one going to be called?
The next one that's coming out is called Raise Your Vibration.
Oh, fabulous.
So it's 111 days in a row of a spiritual practice. So yeah, a little bit different.
Exciting,
It's
yes.
the first book that's not about angels exclusively.
Yes. Yeah, oh, that's fine. So when's that due for?
March 2016.
Not long then, so you've
Yeah.
got a short break in between, and then you're back on tour again for the new book.
I'm doing a little bit, yeah. Next year's a very abroad year, a lot in America.
Okay.
So yeah, not as much next year though.
No.
Decided to take it easy.
Yes, we've been so busy.
Less is more.
And that's true, actually. That's something that we forget. And sometimes when we create that space for ourselves and for things to happen, they do.
Yeah.
The minimum of effort.
Yeah,
Which is,
definitely.
Yes.
I was a very go, go, go. And I think you need to do that when you first start sharing your messages, try and be everywhere. But now I've realised that and the less I do, the more I give to me, like the more I'm really giving to others as well.
Yes.
And kind of being unapologetically selfish at times. You know, I think that's really important.
Yes.
You know, we say, everyone says about spirituality that first of all you have to heal yourself and then you heal the world, but we speak about it and you hear it all the time, but does anyone actually do it? And I've been like, okay, I'm going back to that principle of, you know, everything I do for me is an opportunity for me to say to other people it's okay for you to do something for yourself.
Absolutely, and it's walking your talk as well, and that's so important.
Self-care.
Self-care, extreme self-care.
Yeah.
It's very important. And that's the journey that you've been very much on for the last 3 years, isn't it? When you think of your Keep Fit regime, your eating, your yoga.
Shredded 7 stones.
That's just incredible.
It's
Can you
nuts.
imagine this guy 7 stone? You look very different. I'll have to dig out that photo. When
Really?
We
Don't.
Yeah.
You know, I
it's
tried,
different.
I remember what I wore, I had this blazer and I tried it on recently and it was like a 10.
Yeah, I can believe
Which
it.
was really cool.
Yes, yeah.
You know.
Well, I remember that night you wore this huge, voluptuous Vivienne Westwood t-shirt. And do you remember those plastic shoes?
Yes.
You had these really funky plastic shoes and no socks.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm going to be fine for the night. No, I don't need
I
socks.
took them off.
So you did your thing. You got back at the end of the night, great big gouges out of your foot. Do you remember? And yet you said to me,
All
you
from
watch,
fashion.
I'm handing this over to the angels to heal. When I see you tomorrow morning, Julie, this will be healed. And they were, which was quite
Were they
incredible.
really?
Yeah, don't
I
you
can't
remember that?
even know, I can't.
Oh God, yeah, you had great big
I've
gouges.
still got
and
those shoes.
bleeding
I've
and-
never worn them again.
Have you not?
Vivienne Westwood
Vivienne-
shoes.
I didn't like to mention that they were Vivienne Westwood shoes in that case, yes, but they were.
Yeah, they were.
Black ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Less
great.
is more.
Less is more, absolutely. But in this case, more would have been better because a pair of socks might have saved the feet, but the
Yeah.
angel saved the feet. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd forgotten that. See, it's amazing what we remember about people and situations, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's crazy.
Yeah. So here we are tonight anyway, so we've got a full house for you, which is great.
Well done.
And
Double high five.
double high five, that's what we like, double high fives. So there's lots of energies in this place for you to play with tonight as well, isn't there?
I've already said no.
Have you?
I walked in and I was like, if you're here, don't need to know about you.
So if you're listening spirits and you're thinking of connecting tonight,
We're so grateful
So,
that you're
yes.
here. Oh, well, people's family can come through, but whatever's in this hotel can stay in this hotel. Did I ever tell you about the time that when I worked for the Sun, they sent me to this hotel? It was a 5-star, but it used to be an asylum. And they put me in the attic bedroom for the night. Slept like a baby, I swear to goodness.
right? Nothing woke you then.
I slept like the dead.
Oh no! So they didn't get a write-up from me. I don't think that makes such a good piece, does it?
We sent me to a seance first, and then, it was crazy. So funny.
Did anybody come through at the seance?
It was crazy, it was like all these different mediums, and it was a bit dramatic. It's not really my thing.
No.
You know, this has been a big highlight for me. You know, when I first started to do this work, I was really fascinated with the idea of giving readings, doing that.
Yeah.
But something really kind of struck me, and it was like people were, you know, some people waited for 3 years to see me privately.
Yeah.
And what really struck me was the fact that people go for readings were giving someone else the permission and the power over their world. And that really freaked me out, so I stopped doing reading. I'll do them little snippets at events, but I stopped doing readings because I wanted people to have their own answers. I wanted people to trust their own.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
so before I'd have told the answers, now I help people find them.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's been a shift in the thing.
Yes. It's all about empowering though, isn't it?
It's the word.
Yes.
That's it. You know, I think that this is a really exciting time to be on your spiritual pathway because it's not about what others can do for you, it's what you can do for yourself.
That's beautifully put.
You know, and things like Naked Dragon really push that in people. You know, like bringing great speakers down like David Hamilton, who really is all about walking the talk.
Yes.
Putting it on.
He is very
You know, leading the way for the rest of us.
Yeah.
So well done.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for all the amazing work that you're doing because you're really forging a path. And of course, you're opening a new venture as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
So when's the official launch?
Monday it's opening softly.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think I was going to launch it until in the new year, but I just got an email to say that national press want to cover it, so
cool.
It's going to probably have to be sooner.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so I'm opening up a boutique meditation studio.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool.
Meditation and yoga, or is it just meditation?
I think we'll do a little bit of yoga, but very much for the inner practice rather than the outer.
Yes.
So I've done it in the middle of the banking village of Glasgow.
Right.
So like the corporate people can come and just
cool. Yes, to just chill on a lunchtime or
hang out.
Yes, yeah.
You know, 30 minutes, go inside, you know, themselves.
Yeah, oh, that's going to be so popular.
Yeah, I'm really excited. And I've got really great teachers to lead it. Got a woman that used to be a nun. And she decided to follow a deeper spiritual path.
Yeah.
And I've got another lady that's daughter unfortunately took her own life, and she changed her whole life through kindness.
Wow.
Yeah, and she created this like pass it on thing, acts of kindness.
Wow.
So those two are going to be a big part of it, and I kind of want to help them grow.
Yes.
So it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Glasgow's an exciting place to be.
Yes, it's interesting how all of these cities outside of London now are all sort of taking on their own energy. Glasgow being one, and Edinburgh, and now Cardiff as well is really coming into its own.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You know when people get signed as authors and get these book deals, you hear a lot of chat go on in the inner circles like, I'm going to move to LA, I'm going to move to New York. I always knew that I was supposed to be in Glasgow. And I think that's why I'm travelling less next year. It's like I chose Glasgow.
Yeah.
Like that's where I chose to come.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be there.
I don't know whether you've noticed, Cal, when you've been talking to people recently, but I've seen this happening a lot, where people are being drawn back to their roots, being drawn back home for some reason.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily aware of what it is, and it wasn't necessarily a conscious decision, but it's happening a lot.
Well, I honestly think when you come to the world, before you even come here, I think we choose our parents.
Yeah.
And our parents are placed in a specific place, and I think you chose to come to that part of the world because that's where you can offer the best of yourself.
Yes.
And I think we'll all go around and find the world and see the world. But I think the coming home is really an external representation of the coming back to the true self.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I think that's what the roots are all about.
Yeah.
You know, I love Glasgow.
Yeah.
It's so strange, like I've never felt so in love with a city. You know, like when I walk into it, I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Wow, so that's where your heart is and your spirit is.
Really?
Yes, isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
But sometimes we do need to go out there and explore the world. It reminds me of that T.S. Eliot poem where he talks about going around, we'll never cease from our exploration. And at the end of all our exploring is to come back where we've started from and to know it for the first time.
Yeah.
Certainly for me coming back to Wales, that's how that feels. I've been travelling for a long time. I've travelled the world.
You've done the Middle East.
I've lived in the Middle East, yes. So I've lived in different countries and done lots and lots of travelling, and yet I'm back where I started. And I'm seeing it through completely different eyes. And I find that this whole business of going off and exploring different philosophies, different cultures, different ways of being, we pick up a lot from the East with the yoga and the practices. And yet there's a lot of richness here in my homeland with the Celtic tradition that I've yet to explore.
Have you not?
No, not really, because I was so young when I left Wales.
Oh, you need to do it.
So I'm really excited actually.
I'll tell you something really cool. There's a Druid grove, they call it a grove, in Glasgow. And when I went there, there's so many angels.
Ah.
Yeah, so obviously Wales is like the host of that
Yes.
Druid dragon.
Well, dragons and angels, yes.
You know, kind of thing. So explore it, because there is a richness,
Yeah.
and I think it's more back to the earth, back to basics,
Yeah.
simplicity.
Yes.
Something gorgeous about it.
Yeah, definitely all about simplifying, and that's very much how I feel at the moment.
Yeah.
So back here, back to roots, simplify life, and let's just see what unfolds from here. It's very, very beautiful and very gentle and exciting at the same time.
Is this not where like the goddess Ceridwen's from? Yeah, it is. It's from all here, all this deep
Yes, yeah, it's a very deep
mystery.
mystery and history.
There you go.
So welcome. So here you are. You haven't had to pay to get in because you flew down, and you don't have to pay to leave either. So you've done very well. Because everybody else has to pay to come to Wales.
Oh, I did pay. I paid on the toll.
Did you?
Yeah.
You came over the bridge.
Gladly.
Ah, I forgot, because you flew down yesterday.
So I flew to Bournemouth,
Of course you
drove
did.
through Hampshire.
There was no way around it. You had to pay.
I really liked it. I thought it was the highlight of the day.
Pay
You
to
know?
come over the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like the angels have to cross over theirs to come here, I was crossing over mine to get here too. So, yeah.
Oh, bless you. Oh, well, welcome. Anyway,
Thank
welcome to
you.
your first visit. I wish you were here a bit longer.
Cheers.
So we'll just have to tempt you back again next year, perhaps, and play tour guide and show you all these sacred sites that I would have discovered between now and then.
Okay. Sweet. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah, oh, bless you. Thanks.
Cheers.
Kat.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.